Hi there, Stacey here. I am a Halakans practitioner and creator of the Express Your Truth 8-Step Emotional Empowerment Program, and I am here today to show you how to make butter in your blender. We have a local farmer that we get our milk from, and for a good year or so, I was making my butter with a mason jar, and I was shaking it and shaking it and shaking it and shaking it. And my husband and I would take turns shaking it, and it would take sometimes upwards of 20 minutes of shaking to create the butter. And then my girlfriend said to me, "Why don't you use your blender?" And I said, "You could use your blender?" Didn't even think of that. And ever since then, I've been doing it in my Vitamix, and I'm going to show you today how to do that because it's so much easier. So first off, I'm going to put on an apron because anything food involved, I tend to get it on me. It's not a particularly messy job, but I tend to make things messy. And if you've been following our renovation series, you'll get a wee glimpse at our almost finished kitchen here. All right, so I'm gonna grab the milk. I don't want to shake it because I don't want the cream to mix in with the milk. I don't know if you can see it here. Yes, I think you can. Right here is where the cream is. So, what you're going to want to have is your blender, obviously, a strainer, a bowl, a mason jar, and I have a little spatula, and a spoon. All right? Oh, skim off all of the cream. So thick. Amazing. Now, when I'm doing this, I put a little of the milk in as well because I find that if you don't put any of the milk in, it can be a bit hard to blend it up. It's so thick. Oh my gosh, look at that on the top of the lid. So thick. So I find in the wintertime, it's harder to tell when it's done. And because in the summertime, the butter is bright yellow, and in the wintertime, because they're not having the fresh grass, the butter is white. And so the first time I had done it in the winter, I over blended it. You can over blend it, and it started to get hot, and it went past the butter form and just kind of all blended up into this strange mixture, and I didn't know what was happening. But anyway, if that happens, I just put it back in the fridge, and then I blended it again, and it worked fine. All right, so now that you've got your cream in your blender, just turn it on. You see, and then it gets really thick, turns into whipped cream, and so you just kind of have to, I just push it away from the edges a little bit, and then go again. I didn't add enough milk, so you can see it just blending, it's not blending anything. It's so thick. So when that happens, I just add a little bit more milk, and it'll help. Still not enough. Just stir it up a little. And this is really thick. I'm gonna have to add more. Okay, I'm gonna just pour some in here. There. That'll be enough. Here I said it was so easy to do. I've never had it like this before. Holy smokes. Now it's just getting past the whipped cream phase. You don't want to over blend it. Oh, is it done? Oh, I think it's done. Nice. Yeah, it's done. Okay. All right, so I'll show you what's happened here. Come up here. So, if you can see, it's sort of, you can see the butter is separated from the buttermilk. Looks almost like cottage cheese in there. Oh, so beautiful. Look at all the butter. So much butter. So what I do then is I just grab my strainer. So it didn't take long. It did keep getting stuck. It was so thick. There's so much butter. But yeah, it didn't take too long. So it's easy to over blend because it's surprising how quick it happens. So then I just separate the buttermilk from the butter. My grandma lives with me and she loves the buttermilk, so I saved this for her. Wow, there's not very much buttermilk. Okay, I didn't need a jar that big. And then what I do is I put the butter into a jar, or into a bowl. Oh, more buttermilk. Hello. Yeah, so you just put the butter into a bowl. And what you're gonna do is press all of the buttermilk out of the butter. This is the most tedious part, but it makes your butter last longer. The buttermilk will make it go kind of funky faster. So it would only last for a few days if you had all this buttermilk. So look, as I'm just pressing and all of this buttermilk is starting to come out. So then I just pour more of that in from my grandma. So you just keep pressing and more buttermilk will come out. And you can also rinse it with cold water. I'll do that a couple times as well. But see, as I'm pressing here, you can see the buttermilk coming out. All right, so I won't make you watch me do that. That's all you have to do. And then, yeah, you can give it a cold bath in some water. Just rinse it a couple times and then voila, look at all the butter. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next week.